Hey guys, welcome back. I'm doing another reading vlog. I just ended my last reading vlog and I had so much fun that I just immediately want to start another one. So that's what we're doing. This is just going to be a pure mood reading vlog. I am abandoning my November TBR. The only books left I have on my TBR for November are all horror or a cutie little romance or mystery. They're all kind of fall coded. They're all pretty cozy, except for obviously the horror ones, but I'm just not in the mood for them. I've read all of the fantasy books on my TBR for the month, and all I want to do is read more fantasy. So I've already read the 2 first books in the Crescent City series, and it's only November 10th. So I've kind of crushed those. I read a witchy book. I read a cutesy little people watching book, but then after that I was just I don't want to read cutesy little romance books. I want the dark stuff. So I did some shopping today. Actually, I filmed it in another vlog. I did some shopping. I also have some of my books from my L'Oreal subscription box that I have over here that I have not read. So I'm just gonna be mood reading. I'm gonna pick up anyone that I want, but I'm kind of in the mood right now for a standalone fantasy because I just finished the 2nd book in the Crescent City series. So I'm ready to kind of take a break. I don't know about you guys, but I don't mind taking breaks in the middle of series. I know some people just like to cruise through it, but for me, sometimes I feel like I need a step away to appreciate and to marinate on the world, even if it's just for one book, and then I like to go back and finish reading the whole series. I'm gonna do a cutie little palette cleanser just to start off here. I have a whole stack of books that I could foresee myself potentially picking up in the next week, because I think this is I'll make this a week of reading basically, because I'm in the mood for a cutesy little independent read, one that doesn't have a sequel out yet, or one that's just a standalone fantasy. I'm gonna show you those options first. We have The Sacred Space Between by Callie Reed. This one was in my L'Oreal subscription box for November. We have Thrown in the Dark by A.K. Caggiano. This one also was in my subscription box for L'Oreal this month. And then we also have Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. Those are all standalones, at least that I know of. Technically, Quicksilver is a standalone because the 2nd book at the time that I'm filming this is not out yet, but the 2nd book comes out really soon. It's either it's within the next few weeks. Yeah, I still haven't read this. I did just get the Target exclusive version because this one is my favorite, and I did not actually like the black cover. It just wasn't speaking to me. I need some color. I need some vibrancy. So that is an option, but I think I'm not going to pick that one up quite yet. The Book of Azrael is on my list for this week, but I think that I'm going to save this one until after I do an independent book first, just because this is part of a larger series. There's 4 books out right now, but I think there's supposed to be 7 in the entire Gods and Monsters series. So I'm gonna save that one, although I am super excited to read that series. The Raven Scholar is part of a trilogy, but this is the only book out right now, so I could pick this one up too. This one is by Antonia Hodgson, and The Book of Azrael, I didn't say this, but it's by Amber V. Nicole. Then we have Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I have not read this yet, and this I got in the Book of the Month in it was a long time ago, May, and I still have not read it yet. The 2nd one in this book is, I think, coming out next year in the spring, if I remember correctly. Another shorter one would be Gothicana by Runix. I think that's how you say the name. This one's definitely giving Nocticadia vibes, and I love Nocticadia. I think that book, honestly, that book might be my favorite of all time for the year. I can't even explain to you how much I loved that book. This one is starting a series, but Lightlark I have not read yet. I'm just getting into my kind of bookish girly days because this year I finally got a hold of my sleep apnea and I was finally treated for it, and I can now actually read books without falling asleep. So if you want to hear more about my journey, you can go watch my Zepbound diaries or any of my other vlogs, because I basically talk about it all the time. But I have not read Lightlark yet. This one I really think I could fly through too, because it's a little bit more YA. So it's by Alex Astor. I read Summer in the City this summer, and it was one of my favorite books of the entire year too. I absolutely loved that, and she wrote that book as well. So I am really hoping to get to Lightlark soon, if not by the end of the year. And then last but not least, I have The Rose Bargain on here, and this is by Sasha Payton Smith. The 2nd book in this series also comes out next year. It's got a purple cover. I almost pre-ordered it on Barnes, but I decided not to. So I am really excited to get to this one as well. This one was giving Bridgerton vibes, I heard. So love that. I will read anything with Bridgerton vibes. Okay, so those are all the books that I have kind of like on my radar for the next week. I think in all honesty though, I want to read one from my Illyrial subscription box because I have not read any of my books from my Illyrial subscription box yet. So I'm definitely going to pick one of those. I've decided. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna actually go with the Rose Bargain because I want something short and snappy, something that I can finish within like 2 days, ideally. So we're gonna go with the Rose Bargain. Home from Pilates. I'm in my bed and all I want to do is just read my book and I can't wait. I am going to start reading it on my Kindle actually because I have it on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm just going to download it quick. Also, can we just like talk about how cute this is? I decked this out last weekend and I am obsessed with it. I just think it's so fun. I got all of this stuff on Amazon, so I'll try to link it down below for you. But yeah, it's got like a little coffee keychain. It says I love books. And then it's the little thing, pop socket says just one more chapter. And then there's like all kinds of stickers in it. So I am loving it. So apparently I actually bought this book. I don't remember doing that, but apparently I did. I'm sure it was on one of the days where they were like at 99 cents or $1.99. I tend to do that. If it's like a Kindle Unlimited book and I really like it or I think I'm going to like it, if it's on like the $1.99 deal, I'll just go ahead and pick it up because Kindle Unlimited books don't always stay on Kindle Unlimited and I've gotten burned before with that. So I try not to make a habit of it, especially if I have the physical copy. Like I try to not do that, but I did it. I'm on chapter 2 or 3, I think. So I am going to read this and have a grand old time. It is Wednesday morning and I actually have the day off of work today, so I am planning on doing a lot of reading today. I just got done with an appointment and I have another appointment at 10:30 to go get my oil changed, but it's only 9 o'clock, so I have a little bit of time in between. So I think what I'm gonna do is go home, make myself either a coffee or a matcha or a tea or something like that, and I'm just gonna read for like an hour or so before I have to leave. We'll see how far I get, and then when I'm actually at the dealership to like get my oil changed, I'm just gonna sit there and read, and it's probably gonna be like another hour. So I am so excited. I am hooked with this book. I absolutely love it. I think it's so good and it's keeping me very entertained the entire time. I would say this is a perfect book for you to read if you're feeling a little bit slumpy, but you still want like a fantasy type book. This is so good. It's absolutely so good. It has a really good plot, romance, but also strategy, and it has an element of like trials or like games, and that's just everything I love in a book, especially a fantasy book. So I am on page 111. Let's just go home and read a little bit before our next appointment. I'm 82% of the way through this book. My Kindle says I have like 45 minutes left of this book. I'm breaking. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's like a love triangle situation happening and something big just happened and literally my heart is breaking in half. I cannot take this. gosh. This is so, oh my gosh. I feel like I haven't had a reaction this intensely for like a love situation in such a long time. I am literally breaking. I have finished The Rose Bargain and oh my gosh, this book is so freaking good. I can't believe it. Like, why did I not read this immediately after I purchased it? This book is kind of, I want to say it's like marketed as a YA, but I personally would not consider it a YA. I would consider it more along like the same lines as the Divine Rival series. Like, it's not spicy, but there's romance. I mean, there are adult scenes in it, but it's not as graphic as other like adult fantasy books, if you know what I mean, or adult romance books. So basically, this book was just amazing. Like, it had so much character depth without being such a super long book. There's one main character in this book, and then there's a bunch of like other supporting characters, but you are obviously focused on the main character, but then the supporting characters also have one chapter per character. But in that one chapter, you get so much information about the character that it's like you know them. It's kind of crazy how well I feel like I connected to these characters in such a short book and in such a short amount of time, like a short chapter. It was so good. I absolutely loved this book. I cannot wait for the next one to come out, which is supposed to come out next spring, I want to say. This book left on such a cliffhanger. Like, I immediately wanted to go pre-order the next book, but I didn't. I love going to the bookstore on the day of a release and picking it up. I think that's just like such a fun outing. I rated this a 5-star. It was, I didn't know what to do with myself after it, because I was like, I don't think I can just like move on in my life after reading this. Anyways, it is time to pick our next read, and I have no idea what I'm gonna read. I have no idea. This is the first book in a while that I feel like I've finished a book and not had my next on deck already kind of set up. I'm just still thinking about The Rose Bargain, and I just finished it like 20 minutes ago. So I still feel like I'm in post-book shock. Is that a thing? I'm making it a thing. It's a thing now. Post-book shock. It's the feeling that you get after you finish a book and like you don't know what to do with yourself just because it was so good. Like, you don't know how to continue living your life without knowing what happens next. If you hear a loud noise, I'm sorry, my neighbors are like doing construction on their house and I think there's some sort of machinery out there. I'm gonna go through my top 5 potential picks and then I'll whittle from there. So let me gather them. Okay, I actually picked out 3 because I think I already know what I want to read. So this is one option, The Book of Azrael. The other one is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. And then my last option is the 3rd book in the Crescent City series, which is The House of Flame and Shadow. And if I'm being honest, this is the one I'm gonna choose. I had a goal to finish the entire series in 1 month. This little munchkin is being a little bit annoying. Thinking about finishing this book and just like tying it up and finishing a series that I'm in the middle of just feels so satisfying right now. This book has 835 pages, which I actually think is the same. I think that's the same as the other ones, if not maybe a little bit longer. The book just seems so much thicker than the other ones. I don't know, whatever. So I will see you guys when I start this book this evening. It is Friday night, which automatically just makes today such a great day. I've just gone to a solid core class, so I have gotten my workout in. Feel great about that. I just ordered way too much at Taco Bell. Don't want to talk about it. Definitely not gonna eat it all, but It's like when I go through the Taco Bell drive-thru, I panic and I want to try everything and I just end up ordering way too much. This happens to me every single time I get Taco Bell, and only Taco Bell. Anyways, that's besides the point. I wanted to do a little bit of a reading update. So let's get out the little Kindle. So I am on chapter 13. I'm 17% of the way through. While I eat, I think I'm gonna listen to the dramatized version of the story and do like a read along while I kind of watch the pages. Because in a fantasy book, especially one that's like high fantasy and I need to like pay attention, otherwise I forget what's happening, I really do well when I'm visually looking at the words. My husband's at a friend's house tonight, so it's just like me and the dogs here, home alone. And I wanna bang out a chunk of this book tonight. So I think I'm gonna have a little Diet Coke Lime to go with my Taco Bell. Just give me like a little burst, little, you know what I mean? Little like shimmy shimmy of energy, just to get me through this little reading sprint that I'm gonna do. And I have just set a goal that I'm gonna finish this book by the end of the weekend. It is Sunday afternoon and I am 35 pages away from finishing House of Flame and Shadow, which means that I will be all caught up with the Crescent City series. I have been loving this book. I've actually been listening to quite a bit of it on audiobook, and I've been listening to the dramatized version and I've really been enjoying it. Today in particular, I have been listening to the audiobook just because I have other stuff that I have to get done today. I've been doing a ton of laundry, I've been doing some cleaning, I've been doing some like other cozy hobby type things like puzzling and coloring and drawing and stuff like that. So the audiobook has been like really good for me today, and yeah, I'm 35 pages away from finishing. So I figured I would set up the camera, we could finish it together, and I could give you my thoughts immediately after I'm done with the book. Officially finished the third book in the Crescent City series and I'm all caught up. So let's do kind of a reading wrap up of everything that I read in this vlog. I really liked this book. I think if I was tier ranking all three of the Crescent City books, the first Crescent City book is top tier for me. I really liked that one. Then it would be this one second, and then it would be the second book in last place. Just because this book, first of all, the first half of the book we're following up with what the cliffhanger was at the end of the second book, and I thoroughly loved that. That's when we get a little bit of the crossover with Akotar, and I feel like so many of our questions get answered like fairly quickly in this book, which I appreciate because I don't like having all of these little breadcrumbs and then having like the last book in a long series give me all of the answers. To me that just, I don't like that. I forget things, especially if I'm taking a break in between books. Like I want to be fed some information, you know, along the way, like give me something to like pull onto, you know what I mean? So I appreciated that we got answers like really soon in this book, and that you could kind of see like where things were going to a point. I really appreciated that, and I really liked the second half of the book because I feel like, again, we got so much more information, like so many plots that were kind of wholly got patched up, and I just felt like it ended on a really good note. This one definitely ended with like a nice little bow, like it wrapped up really nicely. I have like some thoughts about where the next book could go, but I'm not gonna let myself dive too far into that because I just like reading the books and seeing what the author came up with. Like, I don't want to create my own story and then be disappointed if it's not along the lines of what I thought was going to happen. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I really liked it, and I'm happy that I'm all caught up with Crescent City. The book that I read in between the second and third Crescent City book was The Rose Bargain. This book was so good. It was so good. I immediately went online to see when the next book was coming out, and it's not coming out until April of next year, but you bet I will be picking up that book and I will be reading it immediately. It is, okay, this book, first of all, let me just recap. It's like The Bachelor meets like Bridgerton, and I love that. I don't watch The Bachelor anymore, but I used to watch The Bachelor all the time, and I just loved the premise of this book with that kind of like plot in it. I loved the plot twist at the end of the book. I was kind of like teetering on what I thought was going to happen at the end of the book, but what actually happened was not what I thought was going to happen. So I thoroughly appreciated that. Like, I am happy that I didn't really guess the ending of this book, and that I had an idea, but it wasn't exactly what I thought was going to happen. And this book also ended on quite the cliffhanger. Like, I can kind of see where it's going to go next. I'm very excited and I can't wait. And I also loved the relationship building that we had in this book. Actually, all of the books that I read in this reading vlog, like character depth and the arcs of friendship were so good. Like, we just had really strong female friendships in these books, and I thoroughly appreciated that, especially in this one. Like, you get so much information about each character. This book is only like 300 something pages, like it's not that long, but I still felt like I knew each of the characters, and that is so crazy. Like, the depth that she went with each of these characters, with basically having, there was like, I want to say like 8 characters or something, that each of them only had like one chapter that was in their point of view. But you learn so much about those characters in that one chapter, and then it ties into the rest of the series, or it ties into the rest of the book, and it's so incredible that she did that. Like, I'm still kind of mind blown. That wraps up all of the books that I read in my reading vlog this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys are enjoying these reading vlogs. I hope you guys are enjoying, like, just kind of going with me on this journey of figuring out like what my hobbies are again after getting treated for sleep apnea and going on this Zepbound journey. Let me know what books you guys are reading down below, or if you guys have any other hobbies that you think I would like to try out. I am totally in like my cozy hobby zone right now. Winter is approaching. I will be pulling out my Harry Potter game again. I'm looking forward to it. I would love all of your suggestions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.